Hello everyone, and welcome to this Dawn of War 3 review of the Let's Play. Yeah, I kind of give that, but that's okay. Now I normally don't do these kinds of things, but for this game I thought I would. Sometimes, generally speaking, you can tell whether I feel if it's a good game or not during the Let's Play. I mean, it can be pretty freaking obvious. Now, this one, yeah, it's pretty freaking obvious. But I'm going to start off with just pointing out some good things about the game. Now, I found that there were a few good things about it. The one thing is the music. Now, granted, the majority of the time, I cannot hear the music. I can't, because I don't use headphones, and my speakers are quite quiet, usually just loud enough for me to tell that dialogue is going on, and dialogue has stopped. So I don't get a chance to really hear that part of a game, and the same is true for music a lot of the time. But when I did hear the music, wow, that was really nice music done well. This shouldn't be a good point, but for some reason, in today's day and age, it has to be. I have my pointer on the screen. Sorry, I'll just put that over there. The game was completely functional. It was functional on release. It worked. The number of games that will go, okay, and here's the release date, and here's a day one patch, that without it, the game will not work at all. It is broken. It is unfinished. It is whatever the reason for it. This didn't have that. This was good. So I gotta give them praise for releasing a freaking functional game. When I finally got the idea in my head of, this is not a Dawn of War game, this is not how you play this game, because Dawn of War, at least the first one, because I haven't played the second one, but the first one has a certain style of play for the RTS, real-time strategy. And once you divorce that from it, you end up with a kind of fun game for a fair number of the missions. You just have to remember, this isn't Dawn of War 3, Warhammer 40k. This is Warhammer 40k Skirmish McSkirmishface. It's a brand new IP. And it's not so bad, for the most part. There are some exceptions. But yeah, that's kind of how you have to approach the game, at least for the single player. I did not play any multiplayer. If you watch the series, you know that. If you're just popping in to check out this, well, yeah. I only played the campaign. And, let's see, I have notes here. So the first time I did this, it was a disaster. That's kind of all I can think of. I mean, the graphics, they're good, but bad at the same time. They are good, they are done well, they look visually to the eyes like, just like, that's some nice detail, that's some good stuff going on there, and all that kind of thing. But the second that you put it up against Warhammer 40k, let alone Dawn of War, that's kind of where it starts to fail in its graphics and its representation of Warhammer 40k. But visually, just by itself, without bringing in any kind of lore, any kind of representation of what universe they're trying to represent, yeah, looks pretty good. It was done well. So, other than that, we kind of get into more of the bad areas. Some of them are nitpicks. Some of them are, what the hell were you thinking? This is not a good idea at all. Now, Relic publicly stated they wanted to take really good ideas from the first Dawn of War and the second Dawn of War and put it into and combine it and add new things to make Dawn of War 3. Well, I haven't played Dawn of War 2, but I've read enough in terms of reviews and listened to people talk about it and that kind of thing in relation to Dawn of War 3 to go, alright, I think I'm grasping. This Dawn of War 2 is more of like a RPG type approach, which is fine. More of a narrative type. Small squad engagement. Your squads and your troops can have experience, and you find loot. And so they can increase in strength and things like this. Well, Dawn of War 3, they have an experience system that, well, I think, at level 5 or level 6, for a hero, it unlocks a second, not ability, but, option for like a bonus that it can grant to your army in some fashion. Like a doctrine that they have, that you can put doctrines into your army to give them things that some of them should already have automatically because it's stupid not to, which is something else. But that's it. It's just like, oh, you unlock a portrait. Oh, you unlock a new skin. Oh, you unlock a new color or something like that on the palette. So the XP system is actually kind of useless. They did not use it at all for anything. Loot? Nope. There's no loot whatsoever. The heroes start off at max strength, if you will, max power, and that's it. Well, so they didn't use an XP system, which would have been cool. They don't have an XP system for troops. They don't have a morale system at all. I believe that was in both Dawn of War 1 and 2. Could be wrong about 2, but definitely in Dawn of War 1. How could you not include a morale system? Now, I understand for the purpose of the multiplayer that players would not very much enjoy the concept of, oh, my troops are now less effective because their morale got mulched because my troops are paper and they're meant to be thrown away like nothing. That's another problem. Excuse me. So you have no growth anywhere. Dawn of War 1 did not have an XP system, but something that they did have was an incredibly awesome let's see, a cover system isn't quite the right phrase for it, but you have like defensive bonuses, defensive minuses, depending upon the terrain that you were standing in. Such as if you got your troop, and it would have to be like, you got your squad, and if you did not get your entire squad to stand inside, say, a bombed out crater, the ones that were inside the crater would get a defensive bonus. Fantastic idea. And if you're trudging your troops through water, they got defensive minus. So, what is going on out there? I have no idea. There's a lot of noise outside. And that system worked really well. You had to think and plan and know that, okay, my troops are going to be more vulnerable here, so let's kind of prepare for that. Instead, in Dawn of War 3, you got these predetermined spots that were a shield that negated all damage unless if enemy troops got inside, which only melee troops could, to remove the ones inside being protected, or you blast the hell out of the shield until it overloads and the whole thing blows up. Quite frankly, I prefer just to blow the damn things up. I did use them on certain maps because they were like defensive maps, but generally speaking, I prefer just to blow the damn things up and get rid of them. And on top of that, like certain things on an orc map, an orc, say, had built one of these dome things for an energy shield. Okay, that is actually possible in terms of lore. However, a space marine would not then go and use xenotechnology, especially orc xenotechnology. I know there's some quibbles about using xenotechnology, but that's a whole other thing there. But generally speaking, they would not knowingly use orc technology like that. And that is, to me, like, oh, this is just fucking stupid. And apparently in Dawn of War 2, there was an actual cover system that you could use. Like, I'm assuming it was similar to other games where if you get troops up close to like a half-high wall or whatever, maybe it was similar to Dawn of War 1, it created a bonus for them or something like that. So, a cover system going on there. Well, they took both the ideas of Dawn of War 1 and 2 and pissed all over it, in my opinion, for Dawn of War 3 to create these dome energy shield things that are bullshit. For the multiplayer, it kind of makes sense, but for the game, for Dawn of War, bad idea. Total Biscuit. I watched Total Biscuit's review of this game. Now, he said, well, if you watch his review, or if you did watch his review, basically he said that I'm not going to cover the single-player campaign. I played like the first 4 or 5 missions or something like that, and it's a glorified tutorial. I'm paraphrasing what he said. But he's absolutely right. It is a glorified tutorial. I mean, it can still be fun, like I said, but to call it a campaign is, in my opinion, misleading. It is nothing but a glorified, very long tutorial. From mission 1 to mission 16. Yes, I know there's 17 missions. I'll get to the 17th one before I wrap up this video. There's a reason for that. Yeah, anyways. Okay. So, overall, it feels like they really did not think through the campaign at all. I wouldn't even call it rushed. I would call it, let's not worry about the campaign because we want to have a game that is more like an e-sport. You can call it a MOBA, you can call it a whatever you want. That's irrelevant. For this review, it just feels like, hey, this is what it is. This is kind of where it's going. We're not going to bother with the campaign. I'm going to put in here, just a small little sidetrack, a way that I feel they could have greatly improved single-player campaign experience. And even just slightly tweaking and slightly improving the glorified tutorial to be just a little bit more. If they went, okay, we have 3 races, let's do a campaign for each individual race following their own narrative to the same ending conclusion, and it's only 10 to 15 missions long. That's it. 10 to 15 missions long per race. So you'll have between 30 and 45 missions versus 17. So it's not too many more if you go like the 10 route. But that would give players an opportunity to replay the mission, to have a reason for replay value if they're looking for more of a single player experience than the multiplayer. And I think it would actually elevate the game. Whether it be a Dawn of War at that point or still Skirmish McSkirmishface, that would have to depend upon how they chose to execute the story. And that's something else. Because there's not much of a story there. It's pretty weak. But there is a story. Now, let's see. I mentioned this before. The troops are paper. They're throwaway. They're... Now, I haven't played League of Legends, but I've seen some footage. And those, automated troop things that kind of get sent along the way and you can follow, or if you're defending a lane, you can attack them and stuff. And they're kind of squishy. Well, that's what your troops feel like. Honestly, now remember, I've never played it, but that's the impression I get when I watch any kind of commercial or a little bit of footage or something like that. This has the same kind of feel to it. Just squishy throwaway things. And that's, in my opinion, terrible. Terrible in terms of design. Let's see. The customization for units, I feel, is a massive downgrade. Quite frankly. Now, like I said, for Dawn of War 2, you can get loot, you can pick up things, you can improve weapons and that kind of stuff. And probably improve armor. I'm guessing exactly what that kind of loot stuff is, but yeah, you're getting loot, RPG style type thing, and you can outfit your people. Dawn of War 1. I can take a squad of scouts and upgrade 2 of them to be snipers if I want. Or 1. Or none. I can mix and match if I was to go for a... let's look at your standard Space Marine squad. Okay? I can give one of them a heavy bolter, one of them a flamer, one of them a rocket, and one of them a plasma. All in the same squad to give that one squad some flexibility, or I can totally make it so that 4 of them have all heavy bolters or all rockets or something like that. And I can design the way that I want my units to be. You don't have that option here. And if you pick Flamer, you have to use it as a special ability instead of the person just shooting? What the hell is that about? The customization, way down the tubes in comparison. And I also feel that it very much spits in the eye of the tabletop, which is all about uniqueness and customization. Not here. They did have it. Then they threw it away. For a reason that I cannot comprehend. It doesn't change any kind of game balance. At all. It doesn't. I mean, it's like, okay, well, there aren't any rockets in the game, so that would change the balance there. So, well, okay, so you don't have rockets. But why can't I have a mix of flamers and plasma, and heavy bolters in one squad, which you can do, or have none of that, which you can do, and just it's terrible for that. The armor does look good, but I read or heard that somebody described it as it looks like plastic. Well, yeah, it does. For what it is, yeah, it's a pretty good job on it. But if you're talking Dawn of War, where's the grittiness on the armor? Where's that sense of it has been used? These are Space Marines, or these are Eldar, or my God, orcs. They shouldn't look plasticky. They should look grimdark. Grimdark doesn't mean darker in color. But what about battle scars on the armor? What about nice little dirt patch? What about just more texture to it, more oomph to it? And it's the same with the vehicles. The vehicles felt like they did not belong in the world. It's like, here is a backdrop of the world, and I'm going to make the backdrop a green screen, and I'm going to plop the vehicle in there like the Predator or something like that. And it just doesn't really seem to fit in the world because of how they did the coloring. It kind of pulls you out. And in that same vein, even though that they're all kind of plastic and clean looking, it was really hard to see what the hell was going on in battles. I mean, if you listen to some of my Soulstorm battles, it's just like, okay, I can't seem to click on what I want. It's because I kept losing my icon, my pointer, so I couldn't click on it. Here, even if I knew where it was, I couldn't click on units, even if I was clicking on units. The only real way to click on a unit was, I'm going to use my pointer, is there's that part down here that you'd have to know which unit. So if you had 4 of the same ones, you have to know which one to click to get its attention, to activate it, to change what you want to do. Pull it back, get it to attack a different target, whatever. And that is not how you do it. Honestly, that's not how you do it. If me losing my pointer because I'm a goof when it comes to playing, that's one thing. If I can't click on things because there's just so much shit, the selection doesn't seem to always register, or even if I'm right over top a unit, I'm somehow clicking something that's over here, all that kind of stuff was going on. That makes it terrible for battles. That's why a lot of the times I just kind of went, okay, I'm going to start doing this attack, move, and then just leave it alone. That was easier for me. Let's see. This is a pet peeve. Some people may not have a problem with this. Me, holy crap, did I have an issue with this. When it came to, let's say, orc buildings or some of the bigger vehicles, I felt there was too much movement in them. Like, very much the idea of, we need to show evil, so we're going to kind of make faces on the front of them and get them to move in crazy ways that is actually impossible because it would break. Like a Saturday morning kids cartoon. We're going to show evil in a very cartoonish way. Tone it back by 50%, by 75%. Have that little bit of movement. Maybe add a few other details. Like maybe the odd bolt falling off or a piece of metal or something like that on a building. Wow, that would fucking elevate it and improve it so much from what that crap was. That was just terrible. Now I'm going to get into Mission 17. Specifically. Mission 17 was so horrifically bad in terms of execution and design for me that I nearly rage quit out. The only reason that I didn't, honestly, is because I was recording. Seriously. That's the only reason. They had the idea of, okay, some of the heroes kind of working together to get to a point to stop this demon, which is another pet peeve of mine, because this demon, I'll get to that. Just stay on topic. So the idea is they're maybe kind of working together, and so you get to the final mission. So you had Angelos, the chapter master of the Blood Ravens. You had Farseer. I actually forget her name. And you had Gorguts. On the final mission, together, that you play together, no troops, no base, no nothing. You fight creatures that are summoned in by the demon that is awake, and you then fight the demon. And quite frankly, the way that it was done, the first thing that popped into my head was, why the hell am I playing a Diablo level or a Path of Exile, game here level for doing a boss fight in the middle of an RTS? Or, well, the end of an RTS. It didn't belong. Horribly executed, horribly done. Gimmick, so you had to fight it multiple times to kind of pad it out. And you had to trudge through the map. After you face him the first time, you get him down to 50% or 40% health left. And then he takes off. Oh, look, the blood shrine. It's healing it. Now we have to get to where it is. And then fight it until the blood shrine shows up. Then attack the blood shrine until the blood shrine is destroyed. And then you're fighting the demon. All the while you get some things summoned in and stuff like that. And I felt that quite frankly, Relic and Sega pissed all over Dawn of War franchise by putting that in there. I was so angry at that for an end to a mission and the campaign. That was just, what was that? It's just, it was horrifically bad in my opinion. It was not fun. It was everything wrong about being lazy in the design of a game, especially a franchise, a third one in this series. They may have wanted to take it in a different direction, but they certainly didn't do that in the campaign. They did not do that in the campaign. And it was just absolutely terrible in every conceivable way for me. It was... Alright, let's move on from that, because it is just thinking about that fight, because I can picture it in my mind. And it's upsetting. I don't want that. It's upsetting. Like, forget it. I'm going to see if I can, I don't know, take the blue pill so I can forget everything, maybe, about this game? Does that exist? Do I have a blue pill? Are these blue? Well, they're blue and white. It might work. Okay. Now, overall, for the Let's Play, okay? I feel that since the campaign, the single player, was so exceptionally weak, that the Let's Play series really did suffer from it. I mean, it's so much more fun when you're watching someone have fun with a game. Even if it's a bad game and they're poking fun at it, I found this to be a little bit too difficult because there are some spots that were shining through that were showing potential, and then it's just a letdown. And then shining through and then it's a letdown. Shining through and then it's a letdown. And that's what it really comes down to. So I don't feel it's a very good Let's Play. I don't know what I can say about this. Now, I caution people, like, don't buy this game. Wait until you see reviews. Wait until don't pre-order. I only pre-ordered it because I was planning on doing Dawn of War 3, regardless of how bad or good it was, for my channel. That's why I decided, talked over with my husband, because once we saw the price, we kind of had to talk about it. The price is $71.99 on Steam, Canadian. So $72. That's a lot of money for this game. And I didn't want people to go out, rush out, buy it. I wanted to rush out and do it for my channel. It's like, it's very rare that I want to do a game at release. I'm just going to play a game whenever. But this one, I thought maybe it would be kind of neat to do it at release. Yeah, no. A lot of channels stopped putting out videos on it by about the 4th or 5th mission, as far as I know. I don't think very many people finished the campaign. They may be just showing the multiplayer stuff, not the campaign. That should tell you something. Overall, because remember, I didn't play the campaign, but I didn't play the multiplayer. I only played the campaign, and that's kind of what I prefer. But I think at the moment, the way things are, at the time of this recording, which is what, May 19th, I think? Something like that. I think it's May 19th. For content, I think in both multiplayer, because I do believe there's still only one mode currently to play in. Not even leaderboards yet. But they did release that they're keeping track of everything, so that when leaderboards come in, poof, they're already filled. But anyways, that might be the 24th they're talking about for that release. But yeah, there's not even leaderboards at the moment. Don't buy this game. Wait 6 months. Wait a year. See what you're after. If you're after the multiplayer, see if there's still a community. I hear it seriously dropped off, which is not a surprise. And if you're after the campaign, wait and see what DLC they have. Wait and see if there's anything worthwhile. At the end of it, we got the attention of the Necrons from this fight. I didn't talk about the demon. Oh, yeah. The demon seemed to be a bloodthirster. They're intelligent. Why wasn't it saying anything? Why wasn't it doing more? Really bad. It wasn't a major demon. It wasn't like a minor chaos god. It was like a bloodthirster. Why did it need to be trapped in ice? It could have been banished. Anyways, which, by the way, us killing it only banished it. Sent it back to the warp. That's it. So, okay, get back on track. This game, I feel the way it is right now, worth $40 Canadian, which is about $30 US. Roughly, that's usually about the numbers that they put up on Steam. So, right now, I would say, don't go near this thing. Wait and see what happens. Wait and see if they can fix, well, quite frankly, this overall mess. Yeah, it feels like an overall mess. After this video, I'll be putting up a few bonus videos of failed missions or mission attempts at double speed, so chipmunking. And watch those or skip them, it's no big deal. Then we'll be going back to the Soulstorm, the Orc campaign, and that is all pre-recorded, ready to go. Sushi, are you coming here? I thought I saw a movement out of the corner of my eye. Anyways, I have really rambled on this, and I even made notes to make it a little bit more coherent. It was much better than the last one, trust me. So, final conclusion. Average game, does nothing, not a Dawn of War game, but Skirmish McSkirmishface game. In the skin of Warhammer 40k, but not really Warhammer 40k. It's more of just the skin of it. The bare minimum surface. You could have fun with it, but wait until it's like 50% off. Wait at least 6 months to a year to see what they do with this game. If they don't do enough, pass it by. Play the other Dawn of War games, 1 and 2 if you haven't. Remember, 2 is like an RPG, 1 is more RTS, real-time strategy, especially Dark Crusade and Soulstorm, where you're trying to take over land and you got that kind of thing going on. Very good. Very good. So, yeah. Also, you can get those really cheap. They'll probably be even dropping more in price now that Dawn of War 3 is out. Yeah. So those I would recommend over this, easily. Anyways, I have totally rambled now at the end here, because I have no notes for this part. So I do hope you found this video somewhat informative. And if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe down below for more videos like this and of other videos. You can also subscribe to my Twitter. What else? Until we meet again, please do be safe, everyone. Bye.